Flamebound, the Guardian's Legacy. Applause. The crowd erupted into cheers as I strummed the final chord. Fireworks lit up the night sky above the festival stage, vibrant explosions of color that symbolized celebration to everyone else, but felt like shackles to me. For as long as I could remember, fireworks had been a bittersweet reminder of the family I lost long ago. "You're amazing, Sky," said Jonah, the band's lead vocalist, grinning as he handed me a bottle of water. "Seriously, you have to join us full time. We need a guitarist like you. Besides, I think you'd love it." "Tempting," I said, wiping sweat from my forehead. "But I'm only filling in because your guitarist broke his arm. If my dad finds out I'm playing in a band, he'll probably ground me until I'm 30. Jonah smirked. "Then I guess I'll just keep asking until you're ready to risk it." I laughed, though the thought of my dad's reaction was enough to keep me grounded, literally and figuratively. Being the daughter of one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city came with expectations. After my mom passed away, Dad had poured himself into his empire, and I'd been left to figure out life on my own. Music was my escape. But my ordinary life took an extraordinary turn when our school librarian went on vacation, and her temporary replacement, Miss Vega, arrived. Miss Vega was odd. She always wore a bright red scarf wrapped around her head, even indoors. She was quiet, almost ghost-like, but something about her pulled at my curiosity. One afternoon, while I was searching for a book, my stack of notes and origami figures spilled onto the floor. Before I could move, she was crouched beside me, picking them up. Her hand hovered over a paper phoenix I'd folded. "You made this?" Her voice was soft, but carried an intensity that made me stop. "Yeah," I said. "I like origami. It's coming." She gave me a small smile. "You have a gift." And then she disappeared back into the shadows of the shelves. That night, I returned to school to retrieve some forgotten sheet music. As I approached the locked gates, I noticed a motorcycle parked nearby. Before I could wonder who it belonged to, I saw her. Miss Vega, but not the quiet, scarf-wearing librarian I thought I knew. She wore a sleek black jacket, and her scarf was gone, revealing hair that shimmered and flickered like living flames. She roared off into the night, and without thinking, I followed her in my dad's car. She led me to an abandoned warehouse where a gang of thugs was harassing a man. I watched from the shadows as she stepped forward, her fiery hair illuminating the scene. "Looks like the rats are out tonight," she said, her voice laced with danger. "How about we play?" "Who the hell are you?" one of the thugs sneered. "Just someone who's about to ruin your evening." Her hair ignited in a blazing inferno, and with a wave of her hand, she sent flames spiraling around the gang, trapping them in a circle of fire. They panicked, scrambling to escape, but she moved like a dancer, her every step commanding the flames. Within moments, the thugs were fleeing into the night. I couldn't believe what I'd just seen. Miss Vega, no, whoever she really was, had powers straight out of a comic book. The next day, I confronted her in the library. "I saw you last night," I said, crossing my arms. "The fire, the motorcycle, the powers. What are you?" For a moment, she just stared at me. Then she sighed. "You're not going to let this go, are you?" "Not a chance." She glanced around to make sure we were alone. "Meet me at the old bridge tonight. Sunset. I'll explain everything." That evening, I arrived at the bridge, my heart pounding with anticipation. Miss Vega was already there, leaning against her bike, her hair glowing faintly in the twilight. "My name isn't Vega," she began. "It's Kaida. I'm from a place you've never heard of, a hidden realm called Pyranus. My people are born with elemental gifts, and we're tasked with protecting this world from those who would harm it. Why hide as a librarian? I asked. Because it's the perfect cover. No one suspects the quiet ones. She grinned. And it gives me access to knowledge. Knowledge is power. Over the next few weeks, Kaida let me into her world. By day, we bonded over books and stories of Pyrenees. By night, I joined her on patrols, witnessing her bravery and the way she used her powers to help others. But one night, everything changed. A fire broke out in a high-rise building, trapping dozens of people inside. Kaida didn't hesitate, charging into the inferno. I waited anxiously outside, watching as she emerged again and again with survivors. But as the building began to collapse, she didn't come out. "Kaida!" I screamed, running toward the flames. Firefighters held me back, but I couldn't just stand there. Suddenly, a burst of light erupted from the flames, and Kaida appeared, carrying a young boy in her arms. She collapsed to her knees, her fiery hair dimming to embers. "Kaida, you're hurt," I said, kneeling beside her. She gave me a weak smile. "I'll be fine. Fire is my strength and my curse." That night, as I helped her back to her hidden sanctuary, I realized how much she had sacrificed for this world, and I vowed to help her however I could. Kaida's story wasn't just about her powers. It was about her heart, her unyielding determination to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. And as I stood beside her, watching the sunrise paint the sky in fiery hues, I felt something ignite within me. This was only the beginning of our adventure. Together, we would keep the flame alive,